What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new series and game called Necesse. This game is real good fun, actually. It is also multiplayer, and if anybody is interested, I'll make sure I make the times I play this available so that people can join in, no problem at all. Basically, it's like a Minecraft, Terraria, RimWorld. It's got a bit of everything, even down to very similar controls and settings. In terms of difficulty, I've gone one off the most difficult, which is hard. Brutal sounds fun. You basically build bases, gain NPCs, similar to Terraria, or Terraria, however you want to say it. But they're a bit more useful in this, so they do the crafting, they can do farming, they can do various different tasks. So it is really a big combo. Obviously very block related, very pixel related. Graphics are nice though. And there is a huge map. It's procedurally generated, which means everyone's is different. Obviously you can see the settings there. Now I am setting a password, but that doesn't matter for when we join up, because I have to do it each time I load the game anyway. And also for those of you that do want to join in, I will of course let you know the details, either on Discord or on the video, depending on how you want to do it. I think Discord will be easier because playing live, you'll be able to know when I am on. But a couple of hours at a time works, so it's always going to be available. Right, as we go through the character creation, as far as I'm aware, other than making the character look however you like, it makes no difference in terms of the stats or anything. Then we go into again, procedurally generated world. You can see there's a quick tutorial to follow, which I will go through because it's the first time showing it on the channel. I do have quite a bit of time recorded on this, so please do bear with me. If you do wish to join in on multiplayer, don't be surprised if you obviously come into the game and it's a little bit ahead of where the channel is at. Bear in mind that anybody that just wants to join in, likely you will be recorded on the game, so if you don't want to be shown, I would suggest not requesting that yet. If we want servers for people to play on by themselves, I can also sort that. So, chopping wood, it's the first part of many games, especially survival games. Chopping wood, whether you're punching it, whether you're using an axe, or whether you're using another random tool, depending on the game. This one we are using an axe. All of these things can be upgraded, or by upgraded I mean crafted into. I learned a bit later on, actually, it's very close to Terraria, where you basically add two items together to make a better item, and then add that item to another thing, and you basically get your OP weapons by adding multiple things together. Relics and trinkets are all the same. Luckily there is a book there on hotbar 3. You can use that, put the item in, and it tells you exactly what you can use it for. And of course, if you can't use it for anything and you don't need it anymore, you can trash it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you like. Plenty of animals about. I've only seen birds, rabbits, squirrels, cows and sheep so far. Cows and sheep of course can be farmed for milk and for wool. All of the NPCs that join you do need to look after them. They need to be fed. They need bedrooms or beds, very similar to like RimWorld and other games. It's more like RimWorld in terms of looking after your colonists, even if the NPCs, than Terraria, because they do need to eat. They can do tasks, anything you really ask them to, unless their stats like RimWorld don't allow you to. And to be honest, it's really good fun. You can then also control your colonists or NPCs, so you can take them on trips with you. So if you want to go and fight a boss, you can take them with you. You can kit them out, give them a weapon and armor. If they die though, they are dead. Similar to Terraria, but they don't come back in the same form. You have to wait to get new ones. So yeah, if you wipe your colonists out, you have to build them up again. Getting a little bit dark now, and of course, in the dark, the night time, you will get zombies and various other enemies spawning. In between the two buildings there, you can see the colony flag. That is the flag, or the settlement flag as it's called. That is the flag that depicts your settlement and therefore where your people live and where they will do their tasks and chores. Also where they defend. With that in place, within that radius, the monster spawning is halved. So at night time, you'll get half as many mobs spawn. But of course, once you go out of your settlement area, they'll go back to normal. Also, as an additional difficulty, you get periodic raids. The raids are from human NPCs. They are quite well kitted out. There is quite a lot of them. They are quite tough, actually. It's quite fun. Again, similarities to RimWorld there, though they are all humans that I can see. Anyway, and then of course there are bosses in this game. The bosses are no joke. Unless I'm rubbish at this game, they are no joke. I think they are designed to play with multiple people. Of course, you can use your NPCs, so you can play solo without a problem. But it's best to kit them out, and remember that if you're planning on going to war, you need to make sure you give all of your NPCs food and medicines and potions also. They will use them, or if their health gets low, they will run away and leave you to fight on your own. As you can see, I'm using the crafting table there. Again, very similar to Terraria. If you're near the building, so at the minute we're near a crafting table or workstation, when you click on that, you can see then the various different things you can build with the resources that you have. You can of course click the tick in the bottom left hand corner to show everything you can build with that workstation, even the stuff that you don't have the resources for, but you can do it that way as well. Here's a forge. A forge is used to make predominantly your ingots from ores and glass from sand, etc. Luckily, the game has got in a setting that by default is on, and you craft from storages, which is fantastic. So as long as you keep your chests and storage around or near your crafting tables or chests or whatever they are, forges, anvils, etc., you will be able to craft directly from them, and that makes it a lot easier because there is a lot of stuff to collect. Farm already set up for me there. This little house is a starting house, and then finally there are dungeons to delve into. The ladders, wherever you place them, will always take you down into a mine or a cave. The cave is procedurally generated as well, and using that you can use that to mine resources, but they are full of mobs. Lighting them up will stop that, but at the start they are full of mobs. And then finally inside those there can be additional steps that go down to take you into trials or complicated dungeons that we'll see later on. Moving the ladder, picking the ladder up and moving it elsewhere will take you down into a different place, and obviously using the ladder in a different biome will give you a different biome cave to investigate. It is worth stealing as much as you possibly can. There you can see straight away is our first batch of ore, and that is iron ore. Anything you break or collect down here you keep. Keep your stone, I wouldn't bin it. It's very useful for building your buildings. To be honest, it's easier to build buildings out of stone than wood, because it's easier to get stone than wood, because you'll spend a lot of time down in the mine mining and getting a lot of free stone. Even when you're mining ore, you're getting stone. So it's a good way to manage that. Here comes the first mob of the dungeon. They aren't easy, but they aren't terrible either. I mean, it is on hard, so I'm assuming that means that they've got, well, it says that they've got more health and increased defenses, I think. Also, they do more damage, which they do. I mean, if they hit you, it's pretty hard. Knockback would be a good option, but realistically, the first time I saw a decent knockback item was a hammer. It was quite far on. Now, this mine isn't infinite. The world isn't infinite like you would expect from like a PC Minecraft version, but it's big and there's plenty of resources in here. And again, every time you go on the map, there is an additional generated map that you can then rinse and repeat the process. Goblin ring there, some coins. Gold's good. Everybody likes collecting monies. You can collect loot from just killing random mobs, of course. Them items can be pushed together to make better items. Of course, fighting bosses is a better way of doing it. The bowmen are quite strong. They are decent at aiming, and their damage, I mean, they're doing sort of 20 to 25 damage per hit. And we only have 120, well, 57 currently, so it's significant, and they come from all over the place. You will get stampeded, and a bit later on, or at least I'm not sure if it's a time thing or if it's where you get closer to the edge. So as you get closer to the edge, whether it be up, down, left or right, or north, south, east or west, it does seem that the resources like gold, especially gold actually, increases, but so do the mobs. So I'm not sure if that's a part of the game or if it's just a coincidence for me on the map. We can of course hand in the quest. There is a quest line to follow. The majority is collecting random things and then killing bosses. Obviously the evil protector is the first boss you will fight, summoned by using a mysterious portal, which is that purple and pink thing there. Yep. And again, it's very similar to Terraria, where you use the item and it's consumed and the boss is spawned. You have to use it in the right place or time of day. So the mysterious portal being the first boss has to be used at night on the surface. The next boss is the Spider Queen, which has to be used at any time but in a cave in the ice biome. I have mentioned it before, but the bosses are no joke. They are quite tough. They have, I think, anywhere from sort of 3,000 to 5,000 health. Of course, I have seen it as high as 8,000, but that was when I had NPCs helping me. And of course, making sure that if you take the NPCs to help you, make sure you kick them out. Because if they die, they're dead. But also, if they're not doing much damage, the increase in health for the boss is not that efficient or effective for you, right? So daytime, and I'm just killing the animals on the island. Obviously, the sheep give mutton and wool. The cows give leather and meat, steak. These little random shrines you'll find. You'll get loot in the center. And then you can rip them up and get the resources if you wish, both the floor and the walls. The walls you will knock down with your axe or pickaxe. To get the floors up, you have to use a shovel. With that cleared up, just going on a bit of an animal hunting spree. Oh, ducks as well, forgot to mention them, and you do get duck breast from that, so you can eat that. Don't get any meat from the squirrel, but you do from the rabbits. So we'll kill as many of these as possible and then get back to base. I'm wanting to make a bed for myself. Got some decent resources, but I can't make a bed because you need the carpenter's bench. I can, however, make an anvil, and with the anvil I can make a bouquet. But unlocking that, you can see you can make all the different types of armors there. The armors are copper, iron, gold, and then ice crystals. So far is the order that I've seen. There is also demonic that you get from the boss as well. I haven't got any further than that, so I'm not sure if it's better than that. I'm sure there will be. This is the pawnbroker. Pawnbrokers basically buy everything or anything off you for a set price. It's not brilliant, but it's certainly a way of getting rid of the crap you don't want. You can ask him to join your settlement, but for now he just keeps saying no chance, it's not good enough. I'm assuming he wants to come in when you've got probably a lot more people or a much better setup. There are bombs. I haven't tried them yet because I've been selling them. Mainly because it's not that difficult, to be honest, to mine with a pickaxe. As soon as you get the next grade of pickaxe up, so copper, it's pretty quick. It's not too bad. So, as you can see under where it says total armor on the left-hand side there, I don't have any armor at all currently. The two items I have, the green top and the booties, are cosmetic only. And then down the left hand side there, you've got 4 slots for trinkets. At the bottom you've got a slot for feet and or cape for speed, and then you've got another trinket slot there in the bottom right. Once they're full, they are full, though remember there's a lot of things that you can combine together to make one item that gives you all of the buffs. Again, like Terraria, and it's the best way to go with that. Time for our first boss fight, and what could possibly go wrong, right? So this is the Evil's Protector. He does mobs, fire spells, and he does purple ones that soak in on you. The guide, obviously is battering him there, doing quite a good job actually. Unfortunately, I'm useless. So for me, it's just a case of running around and dodging all of these mobs and allowing the NPC to do all of the damage. Periodically he flies up and he does these fireballs from a height that you have to dodge, and then he'll come back. Look for the shadow. If he lands on top of you, he does a decent amount of damage. Now, unfortunately, you can see the NPC has gone to bed. He then comes back. He's a bit special. He can't do any jobs. He is just there to give you quests and to give you a tutorial, so you can ask him specific questions about specific items, and he'll teach you or tell you how they work or how to use them. A lot of health, 3,500 health there, and that's for, well, me and the guide. The guide is doing sort of 10k hit. Obviously I could just give him a better weapon, but to be honest, he's got a better weapon than me at the minute. He has a copper sword, I have a wooden sword. And as you can see, even with the wooden sword, you're doing 9 or 10, so it's about the same. He goes into a new phase when you get him low health. I'm guessing that's less than the 50%. The purple ones, as I say, do home in on you, so you will have to make the effort to dodge those. The fire ones are line of sight or straight lined, so the further away you are, the better for dodging them. For me, I suggest the way I've actually managed to kill it in the future, spoiler, is using ranged weapons and basically staying away from it. That gives you enough time to see the projectiles and move out of their way. Alternatively, if you stand behind an NPC, they get hit by it and then you are safe. Nick the pawnbroker is leaving, and there you go, I died. 640 health. So first fight we got so close to killing it, but we didn't. We've lost the item, which is consumable, so we need another one to fight it again, and it will be at full health at that point as well. And to be honest, that was the best chance I had early game, because for some reason he doesn't try and fight it again anytime I fight it, summon it after that, so that's annoying. Bit more mining, why not? You can break the chest and get the chest as well, but to be honest, there is different wood types, and therefore you get different chest types, and it just annoys me having different variants of the same thing. Even the beds are the same, though I'm less picky with the beds because they are hard to make. Look, that arrow guy, the archer guy, it's so much damage. So I hide behind a corner and then smash his face in with the sword. You can press R to put down a torch. It's a bit awkward, actually, my opinion, personally. But of course, you can just have them on the hotbar and do it manually with the left click. It's up to you. These guys that are running around, they do not do any damage to you. And that one is carrying gold ore. And if you kill it, you get the gold ore. They keep hiding, but they are pretty fast, to be honest. Unless you get a sprint item or a speed up item, they're very difficult to kill. After that little burst of mining, we come back, find a little room here, and I walk into it and die. Now, I didn't die from a mob, I died from a trap. There is a pressure plate on the floor and an arrow trap to the right hand side. You can, of course, steal them and use them yourself. And you do have to return to collect some of your items, specifically any gold you've collected and a few other bits and bobs. As far as I'm aware, it's random. It's dependent on the difficulty. Your hotbar seems to stay the same. But you can see, go in there and die instantly because I wasn't aware that it was a trap. Just say in the bottom, arrow trap. So let's try that again once more with feeling. And this time close enough to pull the goodies, but not close enough to activate the trap. The trap on the side of the door, of course. Using a torch will be useful for me to see what's actually going off. And I can now see that the button is on the floor, so I can smash that. As soon as that's smashed, I can then get in the room without. Arrow trap as well. I am going to look into using those to make a, what would you call it? A mob farm? I don't know, because the mobs, I'm not so sure you can, not like you can in Minecraft. But I'm wondering whether there's a way of making a path that goes into my base so that when we get raiders that they walk through it and the arrow trap does the work for us. That'd be fun. I'll see. Let's know. If somebody else knows already, please do let me know. Any funny ways of doing that sort of stuff would be really good. If you can make a mob farm, that'd be fantastic. This is copper. Again, this is a wooden pickaxe, and it's not that slow. It's fine. Compared to other games of the same nature, it's pretty good. And remember, you're getting stone as well all the time. With the travelling merchant in tow, I thought he might give me a hand. Turns out he doesn't. And this is where I say the other guy that helped last time was a bit useless. So there he is, standing watching. But he has no interest in fighting the boss. And I'm not sure if it's a range thing or if it is a setting, because you can select. You basically have to select where they mine, farm, look after the animals, chop down trees, and defend. And maybe it's outside of that range. At the time when I was doing this, I didn't know that, so this was a bit awkward because I can't do any damage to the boss, and I also can't hide behind walls from them projectiles. So naturally, this went the way we expected it to go. And maybe we'll try again next time. Luckily, he disappears. You can see that guy's defending with the zombies, but I think the boss was slightly out of reach there. You can sleep the night. As you can see, sleeping in a bed just brings up the wake up, and then the time speeds on. You, as far as I'm aware, you wake up when you want to wake up. There's no set time. I wake up around the 6-7 a.m. mark because that's where it starts to get light and the mobs disappear. Setting spawn on the bed will also make it that you spawn there when you resurrect from your many deaths, or my many deaths anyway. So yet again, going on another murdering spree to get as many of the wool and foods, meats, leathers, etc., because no doubt we can make armor from the leather as we can. And then obviously we'll end the episode here because we are at time. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Make sure you do like if you like this game, and I'll do more of it. There is some more to come. Again, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.